I'm afraid I can't add anything useful.
Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful. I've nothing to say about this. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful. I've nothing to say about this. I've nothing to say about this.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door.
I'm afraid I can't add anything useful. I don't have any thoughts on this. I don't have any thoughts on this. I don't have any thoughts on this. I've nothing to say about this.
How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
It injured itself while running through the forest. Peaceful and compliant, almost a gentleman. The left tusk is larger and more worn. You're a left-tusked elephant. There's something in the needle. A feathered fletching. This might be promising.
Stop shirking. Get dressed properly and come inside. Stop loiter.
You are guilty, Mr. Swift. Killing Theodore Gilden was a testing challenge. You succeeded.
What makes you think I'm somehow involved in Gilden's death? My partner's death, I might remind you.
You were there when Theodore Gilden died.
Nonsense. I visited him many times, but I wasn't there when the elephant killed him.
Then I must have made a mistake, because the murderer met Goliath's rage personally. The perpetrator was hit by the gate and thrown into the shed. Your bruise matches the contour of the broken hole. One further detail is that the murderer had a bosun's knife, fairly useful in a place where one might cut ropes and fabric, such as, I don't know, the dig site?
That's your interpretation of the facts, Mr. Holmes. You've simply aligned them to suit your hypothesis.
It's not a hypothesis once proven, it's theory, Mr. Swift. Your dart uses strychnine to kill rodents at the site, is that correct?
Well, yes, that is its purpose.
The same dart with strychnine was found on Goliath. The very same substance is a powerful stimulant. It causes convulsions, a flow of energy. You shot Goliath. The elephant became extremely energetic, agitated, and so terrified that it killed its owner. For a man of your age, it was easier to hit a larger grey target than a small man.
You said it yourself. Goliath killed Theodore, and your strychnine speculations are absurd. Only athletes use it as a stimulant, not elephants.
True, but one dart of strychnine would not be enough to kill the elephant, and you knew it. Let me tell you a story. A man spends almost 5 years of his life locating an artifact. He puts every ounce of energy and money into his research. The same man even goes so far as to sign a contract with a ruthless man, a businessman. It was a risk, but the reward would be worth it. Years go by and there's still no result, so the businessman decides to end the man's research. He spits on the research, he promises to bury the site under an eccentric project. All of this is just his whim. Theodore Gilden could do anything he wanted with this place, and you were anxious about the fate of your research. You wished to protect it. You tried to tame Gilden's eccentricity, but you killed him instead.
Theodore wasn't trying to sabotage my career. We had a disagreement, but it wasn't as dire as you describe it. He wasn't a pleasure to talk to, but killing him? Nonsense.
Theodore Gilden was a capricious man, extremely impulsive. But the cold-blooded nature of your plan makes you even more dangerous. You feel nothing. You show no remorse. It was simply a calculated move. And that is why you are under arrest.
Nothing. You have nothing on me.
I think I'll let the police decide if my findings are substantial enough for prosecution.
This is all a dreadful mistake. This can't be happening. The elephant killed Theodore.
Goliath is innocent and he should be free. He is not the real murderer here. That is the apex of your career, Mr. Swift. Farewell.
I told you Mr. Swift was not a real archaeologist. He was a murderer. I knew there was something wrong with him.
Fortunately for us, being a murderer was not his profession. And about the elephant?
While you were busy, I've dealt with it. No thanks to you. I asked you to solve this wretched problem, but you didn't.
I couldn't be in two places at once, Miss Gilden. I was catching your father's murderer. But how have you dealt with it?
A man agreed to take the elephant away. He came to me asking for permission to relocate it to his property, and I accepted.
Well, congratulations, I suppose. That is one less problem.
Actually, two, Mr. Holmes. I found my father's possessions that you can take with you and disappear.
I appreciate it, truly.
Well, someone has to do something. Take everything if you need to, and leave me be.
Take care of yourself, Miss Gilden. My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend. I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happens somewhere in the manor.
Well done, Sherry. You know, I envy you, Sherry. You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
Mycroft's umbrella. The only outgoing thing in his wardrobe. We used to take a shortcut down the banisters, much to everyone's annoyance.
Oh yeah, what fun. They had to fix these handrails several times. I wouldn't try it now, Sherry, tempting though it is.
This portrait was painted some time before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Almost as good as mine. I had a surprise for my mother. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or rather, quite a big piece of it. You had a shovel with you, John. I remember now. We dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona and were eager to show my mother right away. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked.
But nobody answered. We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. It came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it. Her things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to saw through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality. It reminds me of my... Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object. This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason.
Look what I found. The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? Sure, you saved the king, but that's no checkmate, Sherry. You're losing your touch.
It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad. I'm sorry. Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom. No labels. I doubt it ever had one. This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all. Straps on the bed. It just doesn't look right. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. One dram dissolved in a glass of water, administered daily, not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose. Bars covering the windows from the inside. My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.
Broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened.
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
It feels wrong, sad. Like they're the memories of another man. I'm struggling to reconcile my love for my mother with the reality of who she was. And worse, what possessed Mycroft to lie about it? There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic soles. What is this sailor doing here?
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was looking for you.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You can call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favourite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume?
Correct. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Emilio Estero. Happy to make your acquaintance. I am here on behalf of Mycroft, your brother. He's on his way to Cordona. In the meantime, he requests your assistance with a sensitive matter. My orders are to provide you with the details.
I'm afraid I don't have time for this now.
I hope that you will reconsider. If you do, I'll be here.
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you. Mr. Holmes, I see what you're up to. Mysterious stranger pursues betrothed woman. But please, let us keep things professional. I have in my possession an envelope containing details of a special assignment for you. Tell me, are you interested?
Miss Sertle, I am not pursuing you, and I am not pursuing further work at the minute.
Well, it shall wait for you here. Do come back. It's quite something.
Extra! A historic death! The local archaeologist killed Theodore Gilden because of ancient Roman treasures!
Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Refresh your interior. Pick what you like. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase. The best antiques in the district. The best antiques in the district.
I'm having deja vu. This house seems so familiar.
Greetings. Would you be here about my violin by any chance?
I am. I saw from your posters that it was stolen. The name is Sherlock Holmes.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Anthony Jones. But by the sounds of it, you haven't seen my instrument, alas. But if there's anything you can do to help locate it, I'd be most glad.
Just tell me exactly what happened. How was your violin stolen?
Some needy soul broke into my home while I was out. The only thing of value they took was the instrument.
Did you report the theft to the police?
I did, but they dismissed it as petty theft. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. They certainly have more important matters to deal with.
It would be another crime if I let some petty thief get away with your beloved violin. Let me help you find it.
Oh, thank you very much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Come inside, I'll show you everything. Feel free to look around.
door was kicked in.
We could bake apples here, or smoke a duck. Ooh, or make pizza. Do you like pineapple?
The jagged bottle reeks of cheap whiskey. The thief left the bow. I suppose he prefers pizzicato. Clumsy of a thief to cut himself on the glass he just broke. The scrap of fabric is covered in white stains. An utterly useless theft deterrent for a glass display case. Nothing was taken except for the violin. How odd. These are intricate pieces of music, quite beautiful if my sight reading holds true.
I can't hear anything. Has it got strings?
This cover is dusty. It hasn't been taken off for a long time. I see you've received many accolades.
Ah, those are from a long time ago. I used to perform a lot in my youth. Anything else you'd like to know?
Does anyone else live here?
No. My dear Emily died long ago. And God never blessed us with children. I used to give music lessons. But nobody visits me anymore.
You weren't here when the burglary happened, correct?
I was tending to my wife's grave at the cemetery. I was only gone a few hours and locked the door before leaving. Ah, it is all so unfortunate.
trail stops here among the waste.
Hello, sir. Would you like some fruit? Fresh from the orchard?
I'm not hungry, but I'm looking for a violin that was stolen. Any chance you saw someone with one?
Oh, yes, I did. It was sailors, sir. And they were very good customers. They ate lots of fruit, and said that my donkey looks like their friend. Lieutenant Sean.
A lieutenant. Did you see where they went?
No, sorry, sir. I was helping other buyers. Oh, and sir, the sailors also took my donkey. So I guess they weren't very good customers. They promised to return him, but they didn't come back. My father will kill me if he finds out. So I'm still waiting here for them.
Do you know Anthony Jones, the musician? He lives nearby.
Of course. Mr. Jones is very kind. He never barters. Funny you ask.
I'm yet to crack a smile, so pray tell.
Well, the first time they came by, the sailors mentioned something about music, so I told them Mr. Jones can teach them how to play. Wait, so what is his violin? Oh.
Indeed. You sent a mob of half-cut sailors to burgle an old man. Terrific work, boy.
But I didn't know. I just wanted to help. Does that mean they won't bring my donkey back too? Oh no.
Oh, you can't be so naive, or people will continue to take advantage of you. Lucky for you, I'm on the hunt for these sailors, which means there's a chance I'll save your donkey too. Stay put. Someone must have seen where they took it. It's a donkey, for heaven's sake. Can you satisfy my curiosity?
That's new to me. There is nothing I can tell you.
Are you able to help me?
That's new to me. There is nothing I can tell you.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking, about what and dressed as what?
Take a look. The finest clothes for the finest citizens. A perfect choice.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, every story has a price. You're lucky I'm telling you this for free.
The donkey was being stubborn, but so were they.
There we are. The first lead in our asinine chase. This must be Lieutenant Sean. The sailors couldn't get him inside the tavern.
Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back.
Good grief. Those drunks are wreaking havoc in there. Good grief.
I was being very stealthy, Sherlock, and you threw it all away. Come on, pull yourself together.
Good grief. Those...
When he kicks out like hell.
Put you 6 feet under.
Don't cry, you'll live. Take a rest.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming for you. Oh!
Don't cry.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Too simple.
I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming.
Don't cry, you'll live. Don't bother moving.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Well, they left me no choice. I think I might be nearing intoxication myself just from the smell of them. The maker's stamp suggests it was made by a student of Pressender. Quite a lovely instrument.
And somehow, after all the mayhem, it's still in one piece.
I found your donkey. It's not far from here, outside the Wet Whiskers Tavern. You'd better go after it before someone decides to borrow it again.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick as a flash. Hey, Yusuf, please look after my cart, okay? And don't eat anything. Well, you can have a couple of grapes, but only the small ones.
Well done. I look forward to the beautiful reunion.
Come on, move! Ugh.
Here's your violin, Mr. Jones. It might have gained a few nicks and scratches, but considering what it's been through, it's a miracle that it's still in one piece.
God bless you. I am deeply in your debt, Mr. Holmes. The scratches don't matter. They are like scars, each telling a story. It is the sound that matters. Oh, you should hear her sing.
It would be my pleasure.
This melody, Sherlock. Don't you recognize it? Look up, Sherry. There used to be an attic up there. We used to sneak in from the roof and listen to Mr. Jones play when we were children. You should tell the old man the truth. I think it will mean a lot to him.
Bravo. I'd forgotten how beautiful a violin sounds in the skilled hands of a virtuoso. That, melody, it brought back some memories. I have a confession to make, Mr. Jones. As a child, I used to sneak into the attic above this very room and listen to you play. Spellbound by the music.
Oh, so that was you. After my wife's death, it was difficult to pick up the violin again. But knowing someone was listening helped me persevere. In fact, a young man like yourself could breathe a second life into this instrument. It's a remarkable outlet for one's emotion. You should have it.
I can't accept that. And, well, I don't play.
It's never too late to learn, Mr. Holmes. The way I see it, the violin chose you. Take good care of her.
Sherry, I'm really glad we helped him.